Hi everyone, my name is Adinike. In this tutorial today, I'm going to show you how to cut and sew this beautiful dress showing on the screen. Here's the African print that I'm making use of is Ankara print, which is 4.5 yards. So the dress we are making today is of 3 parts. The upper part, which is going to be in form of kimono, the middle part, which is the wide band, and the down part, which is the pleating part. So I'm going to cut the upper part first. This fabric is for my upper part, both the front part and the back part. I'm going to cut it together. As you can see, here's it. The back part, this 1 inch is for my zipper allowance. This is the front part. I'll just place it. The center front is going to be on this line. It's going to be a line on this zipper allowance line. So as you can see now, folded into two. The front part is folded into two. Here's the right side facing each other. I'm making all the markings on the wrong side. Here's the back part as well, folded into two. This is the right side of the back part as well. So I'm going to place my front on the back like so. Hope you can see it very well. And this is my 1 inch seam allowance, zipper allowance for the back part. So I'm going to mark out 1.5 on the shoulder here because the shoulder is going to have drawstring for me to be able to shape my sleeve. 1.5 on the upper part here. I'm going to mark it and connect. So after that, on my shoulder line from my center front, this is my center front, not from my center back, I'm going to measure out my neck width of 3.5 inches, which is here, and half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inches, because my shoulder is 15 inches, which is here. So from here now determine how long you want your sleeve to be. I said I'm cutting the sleeve together with the body as if I'm cutting kimono. So from here now, we're going to determine how long we want your sleeve to be. What I have here now is 14.5 inches. That is how I want it to be. So as for my neck depth, I'm using round neck for my neck. I'm going to measure out 4.5 inches, which is here. You can make it wider than that. It's your preference. I will now connect the neckline with the curved side of my roller, just like this. The back part is going to be 1.5 inches, which is here. You can measure out 1 inch, depends on how you want it. But I want 1.5 inches for my neck depth for the back part. So I'm going to connect it. This is my back neckline, and this is my front neckline. You can use any shape. From here now, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'm going to connect from my neckline to this place like this. So now this is my shoulder slope. From my shoulder slope here, I'm going to measure out half of my round armhole. Half of my round armhole is 8 inches, which is here. So and from here, I'm going to come in by 2 inches for me to be able to hem my sleeve 2 inches. That is what I'm marking on the waistline here as well. I'm going to connect. I'm going to cut this place out a little bit just to give it slight curve. From my shoulder line, the length of my upper part is going to be 13 inches plus 1 inch extra. That 13 inches is my shoulder to my underbust. So from my shoulder to my underbust is 13 inches plus 1 inch extra to form that puff on the front part, which is here. I'm going to add ½ inch waist joining to it, making 14.5 inches. So 14.5 inches or through from my shoulder line, 14.5 inches. I'm going to roll it out. After rolling, I'm going to cut it out. Lest I forget, on my shoulder line here, I'm going to add from here. I said I'm making use of 1.5 inch for my shoulder seam allowance. So 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch. I'm going to follow this shoulder slope. I'm going to connect and cut it out. So connect it to the neckline like so and cut it out. cutting my back neckline first. So I'm going to remove my back. This is my back part. I'm going to open the zipper allowance. And this is my front part. I'm going to cut out the neckline for the front part as well. So we are done for the upper parts. Moving on to the middle part, which is wide band. Now here's the fabric for the middle part, which is the wide band. This is for the back part folded into two, and this is for the front part folded into two as well. And this is the right side of this front part. Here's the right side of this back part folded, facing each other. And this 1 inch is for my zipper allowance on the center back. I'm going to place my front on it like so. Let the center front let the center front align with the line here, with this zipper allowance line. Hope you understand. So to know the amount of fabric putting on fold for this, just make sure you deduct from your shoulder to your underbust. Deduct it from your shoulder to your hip line. So from my shoulder to my underbust is 13 inches, like I did, like I measured on the front part. So I'll now deduct that 13 inches, which is from my shoulder to my underbust, from the shoulder to my hip line. My shoulder to my hip line, I have 23 inches. So that 23 inches now, I'll now deduct that 13 inches, which is from my shoulder to my underbust from it. So it will now remain 10 inches. So I'm going to measure that 10 inches out from here now, from the upper part here. 10 inches, which is here. I'm adding 1 inch to it. I'm using ½ inch to join this upper part, and I'm going to use this the remaining ½ inch to join the down part to the down part here. So 1 inch plus that 10 inches, that is 11 inches. I'm going to measure it out and connect. Hope you understand. If you have any question, just let me know in the comment section, please. So from the center front here, I'm making all the markings from the center front. This will be my upper waist, which is my under bust. So what I have on my under bust is 32 inches. Divided by 4, it will give me 8 inches. This is where the 8 inches is. I'm going to add 1 inch for seam allowance to it. That is 9 inches, which is here. And on the down part here, the circumference of my waistline here is 35 inches. I'm dividing it by 4. That will give me 8.75 plus 1 inch seam allowance. That's 9.75, which is here. And I'm going to connect from here to here now. I want my band, I want it to have Basque effect on the down part here. So I'll now measure from here to here. I'm going to measure 4 inches upward. Measure ½ inch from the center front here. And I'm going to connect from here to here because I don't want this place to be sharp. So I'm going to connect it now. So after connecting, I'm going to cut it out. Now this is my front part. I'm going to open up my zipper allowance for the back part. Now let's move on to the sewing part. So this is the upper part. After sewing the upper part, we'll now move on to the down part. So let me separate it. This is my back part. But before stitching it to the middle part, before stitching the upper part to the middle part, I'll go ahead and use my bias tape to hem the neckline. So I'll go ahead and hem my neckline. This is my back part. I'm going to hem it separately. Go ahead and hem it with the bias tape. After hemming with the bias tape, this is my front part. I'm going to hem it too as well, as you can see. So I'm going to hem it with my bias tape. After doing so, let me notch the middle of my front part on my back. I'm going to notch the middle part here. So after notching my band, this is my band as well, I'm going to notch the middle part. So here's it now. I'm going to open it up like so. Open the upper part too, like so. Can you see that? This is the right side of my band and this is the right side of this upper part as well. So what I'll go ahead and do now is to just place it on each other like so. Let it align on the center here. You know, I've notched the center of both, so I'll let it align on the center using my pin to hold it. Now I'll move ahead to my machine. Make sure I pleat it. I'm going to pleat this one. I'm going to pleat it. So make sure you use your check and balance. Pleat it little by little here. I'm going to pleat this one. The upper part, I'm going to pleat it little by little till this down part, which is the band, contain all that I have here. I'm going to pleat it little by little. Move ahead to this side as well. Pleat it little by little till the middle part contain this upper part. I'm going to do the same thing on the back part. Separate my back like so. This one is for this. So I'll go ahead and place it on each other. Let the right side face each other like so. And pleat it little by little till this band contain this upper part. Hope you understand. If you have any question about it, just let me know in the comment section. I'm doing the same thing on the second part of it. Now I'm done with all that I explained. This is my back part. As you can see, I've hemmed the neckline and I've joined into the down part. As you can see, this is the wrong side of it. Here's the second one. This is the right side. Look how neat and beautiful it is. Can you see that? Here's it, one part of the back part. As you can see, it's very nice and beautiful. The second part, and this is the front part. I've hemmed the neckline with my bias tape, and this is the right side of it. Can you see that? So what's next now is to just join the shoulders, the two shoulders together with that 1.5 inch that I added for it. From my neckline here, I'm going to join my shoulder with 1.5 inch till I reach here, the sleeve part. I'm doing the same thing on the second part. Just make sure the right side of the back is on the right side of the front. So I'm done joining the two shoulders. As you can see, here's it. Can you see that? So here's the second one. Here's the second side, as you can see. So I've forgotten that I'm adding drawstring. That was why I left about 2 inches here before, on the edge of my sleeves here, because I have to hem the sleeve. I have to hem it separately. Better still, you can just hem it before you join the shoulder. So I'll go ahead and hem my sleeve now separately because of that drawstring. I'm going to hem it with 1 inch. Double fold it like so and hem it. I'm doing the same thing here. Double fold and top stitch on it. After doing that, I'll now close up my shoulders, the two shoulders. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm done hemming my sleeve separately and I've closed my shoulder. I've finished joining the two shoulders like I explained. As you can see now, here's my sleeve. This is the edge of my sleeve. I'm hemming it separately before joining the two shoulders together. Make sure you hem your sleeve edges before you join your separately. Make sure you hem your sleeve edges separately before you join the two shoulders. So that is it for that. So I'll go ahead now and create a rope for my drawstring, because I'm going to open up my seam like this for my drawstring to enter. So but before doing that, this is the strip of fabric for my drawstring. I have 2 pieces here. So the length of this 2 fabric is 2 inches. You can cut as much as you want for the width. So I'll go ahead now and fold it on both sides like so, and I'm going to fold it again, making into 4 fold. Hope you can see it. I'll go ahead and fold it on both sides like so, and fold it again like so. I'm going to run a stitch from here to here. I'm doing the same thing on the second fabric. Now I'm done with my rope for my drawstring. Here's it. So I'm going to fold it into 2 like this and cut it into 2 equal parts because I'm using 2 pieces for one shoulder. So I'm cutting both into 2 equal parts, just like this. I'm cutting this one as well. Fold it into 2 equal parts like so and cut it. Now I'll go ahead and open up my shoulder like this. I'm going to open my seam like this. That 1.5 inch that I used to join my 2 shoulders, I'm going to open it up like this. If you can see it, insert my rope one after the other. Do not let it come out from the neckline. Just place it like so and fold the edge of this seam allowance like this. Fold it for about 0.25 and top stitch on it. Doing the same thing on the second side. Insert my rope, let it be in between that seam like this, and fold the edge like this with 0.25 and top stitch on it from the neckline till I reach here. Then after doing that, you now top stitch on this place for me to hold my rope inside it. Now I'm done with my drawstring on the shoulders, on the 2 shoulders, as you can see. Can you see that? I just draw it like this with the 2 ropes here. So I'll now go ahead and fold it like so for me to stitch the side seam with 1 hinge that I added for that. So I'll go ahead and fold it like so. Let the right side of the back face the right side of the front and stitch the side seam from the armpit. I'll follow the shape I have there with 1 hinge till I reach here. So I'm doing the same thing on the second side, from the armpit till I reach here with 1 hinge. So I'm done stitching both sides of my upper part. As you can see, here's the wrong side and this is the right side of it. So I'll now move on to the down part. To get the length for the down part, I'm going to deduct the length of the upper part from the full length of my dress. The full length of my dress is 58 inches. If I deduct 23 inches, which is the length of my upper part from it, it will now give me 35 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch for hemming allowance to it. That will make it 36 inches. Then ½ inch for me to join it to the upper part here. That will be 36.5 inches. So here's the fabric that I'm using for the down part, as you can see. So I have here 37 inches in length of this fabric. The length of this fabric is 37 inches. So I have more than enough here. So, and to know the width of the fabric using for the down part, just make sure you measure what you have on the waistline of this upper part. Measure what you have on the down part of this upper part here. Measure it all through from the center back through the front to the other side of the center back. So that is what I'm measuring out. You can multiply what you have on the waistline here by 2, or you multiply it by 3. It depends on how much fabric you have. So what I have here now, let me measure it out. Let's multiply it by 2 or by 3. Depends on how much fabric I have. So that is what I have here for the down part. So the length of this fabric is 37 inches like I said, and the width is times 2.5 of what I have on the down part of the upper part. So what I'm going to do now is to just notch the center of these upper parts, which I've already did while cutting. I've notched the center before. Let me just notch the center of this down part as well. After notching the center, I'm going to spread my upper part out like so. Spread it out like this. Here is the center of my upper part, as you can see. Let me use chalk to mark it out for you guys to see. So here is the center of my upper part, as you can see. So I'm going to place the center of this one. Let the right side face each other. Place the center of my down parts on the center of my upper part. Here is the center of the down part as well. I'm using pin to hold it. So after holding the center down with pin, I'll now go ahead and start stitching from the side here. From the center back. I'll start stitching. As I'm stitching, I will be pleating it little by little till these down parts till these upper parts contain the down parts. Now I'm done stitching the upper part to the down parts. As you can see, here is it. Can you see how beautiful it is? So I'll go ahead now and turn it to the wrong side like so. Make sure you overlock all the necessary area. So here is it. This is it on the center back, as you can see. Can you see that? So I'll go ahead now and place my zipper on it for me to measure where I'm going to start my stitching from till I reach the down part. So this is it. Remember, I added 1 inch for my seam, for my zipper allowance, which is here now. This is my 1 inch for my zipper allowance from the neckline here till this place, till I reach the bottom part of it. Just measure 1 inch out. So I'm going to place my zipper on the neckline here for me to measure out where I'm going to start my stitching from till I reach the bottom part before I fix my zipper to it. So I'm going to leave about 2 inches here. I'm going to measure my zipper from the bottom part here. I'm leaving about 2 to 3 inches. Let's make it 3 inches. This line is where I'm going to start my stitching from till I reach the bottom part with 1 inch. After doing so, I'll now fix my zipper, hem the bottom part of it with 1 inch that I added for it, or 1.5, and after doing all that, I'll give it a good press and show you the finishing look of it. Here is the finishing look of it, guys. If my tutorial has been helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to support my channel. If you have any question pertaining to cutting and sewing, you can join me on my Facebook group, Details to Sewing, created by Akurede Adenike. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Akurede Adenike. Please show some love by liking and following my page on Facebook at Aniki Culture. Till I see you in my next video, guys. Bye for now.